Alright, so hey guys, what's up? And this is going to be a special video where I read my old diary and react to it. And by the way, it's not fake, okay? For anyone who thinks it's fake, it's not, okay? I haven't read this diary for a very long time, and it's a diary 3 years ago, around 3 years ago, and it's pretty insane, not gonna lie. And the reason why I'm making this video, I didn't plan to make this video, but the reason why I'm making it now is because lately I've been writing my script. I'm writing a screenplay for a short film about my school life. So I want to read my old diaries to try to recall some of the events happened to me in the past. So I started to read my diary, which is not the first one, but I wrote this in year 2, okay, 8th grade, and this is the first book of 8th grade. May the war begin. Jeez, and it did begin. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's start off with the first page. Honestly, I kind of roughly remember what happened, but there are so many things written in this diary that I had no idea, that I had no memory of. Alright, so it's pretty usual at first. I was real excited to go to school again, because I real wanted to know what's gonna happen next. And oh my gosh, Mr. Thompson and Miss Solomon is back 2 years in a row, 2 of the most infamous teachers in school. At first, I thought life is gonna be great, and I was actually friends with Jordana. I'm friends with her now, but back then, being friends with Jordana is something you should be very, very proud of, because Jordana is a very dark, mysterious, antisocial, and strange and unpredictable person who was very scary. She was everywhere, and she's very powerful too, and very smart as well. So being friends with her is like being friends with a gangster or something. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's something to brag about. But at first, Jordana isn't like that crazy or insane or anything or evil. So I don't know why. Like, usually in September and October, Jordana is usually more normal, and then as time goes by, she gets more and more progressively evil and insane. Yada yada, yada yada. Yeah, this I had no memory of. On September 4th, Linda, Kenny, and Queenie said they were violent, horrible, and poisonous, respectively. What? And then for a while, people were like, I love Jordana. People thought that I and Jordana were dating, but in fact we're not, because a year later we're like fucking dying and shit. Oh my gosh. On September 7th, Bernice suddenly say that Jordana doesn't like me, hate me. What? And then turns out it's just a misunderstanding, and Jordana doesn't hate me at all. Yeah. And yeah, so it, like, for 2 weeks, I was like, why is school so normal? Why does school feel so normal? Nothing's happening. But as it turns out, never fucking mind. Linda was furious for some reason, and she smacked Josh. And Edward was like, wow, this is sick. What? And then Keith and Linda attacked Jordana? How? And then suddenly Bernice came up to me and say, I don't know how will our relationship last. That I remember. Yeah, that I remember. But what really shocks me is how the paper is passed around. It is passed from Bernice to Queenie to Mary to Jordana and then to me. And that's why the teachers never found out about the piece of paper. Never. Never in a million years. Okay, and then our math teacher was super furious. He sort of cried and he smacked the door, and another time he like he literally lifted up a chair and smacked it onto the ground, and it sort of broke. And that's pretty fucking nuts. And she asked me, do you know what was I like when I was in elementary school? And I was like, violent. And she's like, nope, I was cool, antisocial, emotionless. I never smiled. And what's cringy is that I sort of vibed with Jordana a little bit. Like I was like, yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I was so cringy. Here we go. I can see your rage. So, this is the day. Oh my gosh. What's even crazier? After school, I was practicing my drama, and I don't remember this at all. So I was practicing drama, and we were in the school hall, and there was a mic, and I sort of played around with the mic a little bit. I said something. I didn't curse or anything. I just said something. And then suddenly, a teacher came. A teacher came up to me, and the teacher was like, "Who played with the microphone?" And I was like, "Me." And yeah, the teacher was like pretty angry. Don't ever do it again. And then Keith was like, "Don't worry. It's gonna be fine. We'll play with something else. You know, don't don't care about that teacher. You know, like, don't mind that teacher." And then after that, I asked Ernest. Ernest, somehow, I knew him somehow. I asked Ernest, who told me on the teacher. And he said it's Keith. It's... What? This dude literally just flipped me. Just punked me so hard. Okay, I was on the bus with Bernice. We were chatting, and suddenly Mary appeared. What in the fuck? And then the end of entry. I didn't write anything else. The end. I should have written more, really. September 29th. And I came in all of a sudden, and I was like, yeah, get angry, kids. Yeah, like, yeah, fight. Yeah, everyone's going insane. I was so cringy. I didn't do anything. I didn't make any progress in the group chat. And then Jennifer was like, and Jennifer was really annoyed by me, and I understand it. And she said I'm retarded. Natalie kept on revealing my second identity, and I was like, don't do it. Alright. Jennifer cried again because Will hit her? What? Okay. And then, oh yeah, this one. I don't remember this at all. So Keith was working for Miss Solomon secretly, and he started to write down names on a piece of paper, and everyone was like super cautious because if Keith wrote their names down on the piece of paper, Miss Solomon will come and see those names and punish those people. So it's really suspenseful. And I was like, what are they? And Cedric was like, no, I can't tell you. And he told me that just to intentionally piss me off. Yeez, that's insane. You know, back in the days, Linda and Mary and Jeffrey, they were friends with me also, you know? But, you know, these memories seem so fake right now that I can hardly believe them. But there was a while Linda was like asking me about science and stuff. I asked Linda, why did she hate Cedric? She answered. But I didn't actually write down the answer. I only wrote down, she answered. So, what? I really should have written more, because I don't even understand what I'm reading right now. And Mary was her daughter as well, so I and Mary were siblings. And I told Mary that, even though it's ages ago. And then she replied to me saying, she's your mom. I'm her daughter. We're siblings. How odd. In Mandarin. She said that in Mandarin. I started to feel like Mary is being closer to me. She started to talk to me. I guess that's good. That's really fucking good. Okay? That's really, really good. You know, right now I would actually sacrifice myself in order for Mary to talk to me, because now I and Mary, we never talk. We just pretend that we're strangers. I guess that's good. It's great. It's amazing. I really wish that I could tell myself that I should have treasured all these, events. I wish I could have enjoyed it while it lasted. And admittedly, Jordana solo is pretty rad, but geez, give some appreciation for me as well, please. I dropped the F-bomb in the WhatsApp group, and then Jeffrey and Gary was like, dude, don't say the F word. And then Bernice kicked me out of the group, and then added me back again. And then Ronald popped up out of nowhere saying that she should have kicked me, so she kicked me again. Okay, October 19th, I and Mary is really friendly. In fact, I wanted to say happy birthday to Mary on October 24th to Mary so that it'll be a surprise. But she surprised me with a sudden voice. That's literally what I wrote. Okay, and then there's a while when people were shipping me and Jordana. My friend Nick smuggled me out of the classroom and we hid. It's fucking intense. Meanwhile, I and Mary, we actually exchanged messages. Damn, I know it's been 2.5 years, but damn, I wish I had those messages back. While I grouped myself with Jordana, Keith, and Natalie because I thought we were also special, but I was totally wrong. And there's a seat change. Umbriel behind me, Bernice in front of me, and then far away, it's Jordana, Keith, and Natalie sitting in the same row. And tell me if that's a coincidence or not, because I'm pretty sure that is not a coincidence. That is Miss Solomon's secret plan to isolate me from the group and put me beside the people that hate me. I mean, that's just a theory, but geez. Don't follow me unless you want your diary back. This is the diary, by the way. And I told Queenie to tell them to wait outside. And Queenie actually followed my order? What? I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that happened. You're telling me that happened. Like right now when I look back, it makes zero sense. Zero. But now that I've seen it, I'm starting to think that it's real. And then Miss Hermes, the teacher, she saw it and she took it. And I was like, shit. And I was also really angry. So when the teacher was distracted, I secretly took the paper back. Okay? And then turns out she realized it. She discovered it. And she was like, where's the piece of paper? So the chemistry lab was on like the 5th floor or the 6th floor, and I ran all the way down to the 2nd floor. I rushed to my locker, I took out another piece of paper, I took out another pen, and I just wrote and made up an entire piece of paper full of, these revision things. And then I ran back up and I gave it to her. And that was a lot of effort, by the way. That was a lot of effort in order to cover up for my piece of paper. But still, she realized it because she's not dumb, right? November 11th, Natalie said Max blackmailed her because she accidentally she accidentally recorded herself crying and sent it to Max, and Max was Keith's friend. And then Queenie forced Natalie to turn Max and Keith in, so now Keith hates Natalie. Wow. This was actually really scary. Cedric warned me. We are dead. We are absolutely dead, because Bernice was gonna turn us in and tell Miss Solomon all about us. And then suddenly things started to change, and suddenly Miss Solomon sent a psychiatrist, a psychologist, to chase after Bernice and find her, because apparently Miss Solomon lied about Bernice and told the psychologist that Bernice was suicidal or some shit like that. So the psychologist was chasing after Bernice, and then Cedric was like, we're screwed, what I wrote, because Natalie was like, and Cedric was sad all of a sudden, and Cedric tried to ignore me, and then later, Natalie and Bernice went to see the principal, and then they came back laughing. They're not crying, they're not hating each other, they came back laughing. So it was an odd, weird day, indeed. That's when Miss Solomon took Jennifer's pen and smashed it onto the table, and smashed it into pieces. Oh wow, and then Parents' Day, I didn't bring my phone, because I'm smart. I didn't bring my phone, and Miss Solomon's gonna forcefully check my body to see if I'm lying, and then turns out I'm not lying. But Miss Solomon didn't even check my phone, so yeah. And she told me to write down everything I've done wrong. And then here we go. That is an entire page of me ranting. Okay, one sec. Yeah, that is an entire page of me ranting. In the 80s, you turned around and I ran the opposite direction. Jeez. Life was so insane and unpredictable back then. Natalie told the social worker about me. What? In McDonald's. And then suddenly Bernice popped up out of nowhere and I ran the opposite direction. I hid, but then she saw me, so I immediately left school by bus. And then as it turns out, Jeffrey came to me before I came to him. What? There we go. November 25th. I asked Mary to ask Bernice stuffs. But Bernice didn't answer, so spy fail. Okay, this is fucking nuts, okay? Jeffrey wouldn't do anything this stupid, but he actually did it. Jeffrey made a questionnaire to ask how many people in the class hates Bernice and how many in the class don't. Which is insane, alright? And apparently only 7 people liked Bernice, 15 people was neutral, and 12 people disliked Bernice. All the people participated? What? No, not all. And then Umbriel told me that there was a lot of things that I didn't know. And then Jeffrey suddenly asked Caroline to ask Umbriel if she likes Bernice, and Bernice knew it. And then Umbriel suddenly told me how badly I chose the people who work for me. And I said, I didn't hire anyone to spy on Bernice. Jeffrey volunteered to do it himself. Umbriel wanted me to play a game, and if I won the game, Umbriel would tell me what Bernice was up to. And the game is very simple. Guess who Umbriel is, or was. I guessed for a very long time, and I failed, and turns out Umbriel was just a normal person. Why didn't I think about that? Normal person. What? Everyone was saying that Cedric betrayed me. I asked Cedric, did you betray me? And then Cedric was confused and he cried. I said, oh, what? Linda, Jordana, Jeffrey, and Natalie also said that Cedric betrayed me. And then Cedric took my textbook, ruined it, and talked to Bernice. Natalie said she has a plan, and then Jeffrey and Jordana said they have a plan, which is fucking insane because they are actually participating. They are actually actively participating, which is insane. And Keith almost saw them. Wait, what? Bernice went to the school toilet and slit her wrists in the school toilet, which is pretty stupid. Okay, yeah, December 9th, Mr. Thompson called out Josh, Jeffrey, Bernice, Cedric, Will, Linda, Max, Natalie, Pete, and me. December 11th, Diane cried and flipped Kenny's table. And then Jordana argued with her. What? And apparently our sports coach yelled at Linda and Linda cried, which is pretty insane. Then the school police came and Jordana was one of them. Jordana wanted to defend me, but Jordana failed, so rest in peace. Then suddenly Jordana became super dark and angry and powerful and mentally unstable and violent. She cried and laughed at the same time. Linda, Jeffrey, and Cedric and Natalie, and they were all laughing. They were normal. They had new faces and new hairstyle. It was like nothing happened. And in January, I finally decided to put myself out of the whole Natalie, Keith, Jordana group. And then I asked Jordana, why are you so strange? And she said, yes, I am. I told Jordana that Natalie was probably going to write about blood and gore, and Jordana was like, yeah, I love it. I love it. And I tried to blend in, but didn't really work out. And then at the end, Natalie said her, Keith, and Jordana were sociopaths. Because it's not us four. It's them three. And of course, okay, end of diary, by the way. And of course, a month later or so, I spied on Jordana, Natalie, and Keith, and they were in the classroom with all lights off, and they were just doing their own thing. And I was completely shocked.